On your deathbed, what's gonna be going through your mind is the shit you miss the most about this reality. For some people, it's gonna be loved ones. But what if you ain't got no damn loved ones? What if you was a pimp who lived your whole life just thinking that, man, I gotta have sex with all the women I gotta have sex with, and I love it. This is my paradise. When he die, he gonna be thinking, man, I ain't gonna be able to have sex no more. It's all over. And that feeling is why he's going to come back. You come back here out of your own will. So the people who come here and master the sciences, they realize that the best way to leave here is without no kind of want. Because only thing we want is knowledge. And when you leave here inquisitive like we are, still on a quest for knowledge, you ascend. When you leave here, don't care about knowledge, don't care about being ignorant and dumb, chasing all the shit in the world, don't care about learning about your spirit, none of the stuff like that. You come back here. See, what we're attracted to now is higher learning, higher understanding. So when we die, we're going to be curious at death. On our deathbed, we're going to be like, okay, I wonder, am I going to see the vault of heaven? I wonder, am I going to see the firmament? So you're going to be navigating the afterlife differently. Your experience is going to be different. A lot of these people ain't going to see what you see at death. They ain't going to experience what you experience because they're going to be trapped in their own worldly desires. And the universe is going to give you what you will. That's why it's called your will. A car gonna turn wherever you spin the wheel. If I turn the wheel right, the car gonna respond and make the car go right. So when you in your macabre, you in your car, and you drive it by turning the wheel. So when you die, the universe gonna replant you wherever your will desire. Now to get out of this game is to break away from those seven deadly energies, those sins that they're using to keep you here. And then after that point, your energy can't go nowhere but straight up. And that's Polaris. Polaris is a neutral energy. It's in the middle of the earth. And guess what? It don't hear no evil. It don't see no evil. It don't, it don't know nothing about gluttony, pride. It don't even know nothing about sadness because it don't know nothing about happiness. In other words, all of the emotions that governs the body in the simulation, if you find out you in a game, you just let the shit go. Think about it, right? If we make a video game and they say, now this game is real now, don't get trapped in it because it's very real, but we're going to load you in. We're going to upload your consciousness in. When you get in the game and you stay for a while, you're going to develop attachments and bonds with people. You're gonna love certain people. You're gonna fucking have pets and animals. You're gonna get your energy and your emotions tied up into the game. So my thing is, what the Hindu and Buddha and them was doing through meditation was any kind of emotion you can think of, they tried to be absent of it, even happiness. Now I know today when we meditate, we say, I want to go somewhere where I'm happy. I want to be by a little stream and do that. But when you really want to go to the big boy level with this shit, according to my understanding, the ultimate state of bliss is no emotion at all. It's this neutral state that the Buddha said can't be described. It can't be explained. It can only be experienced. A state where you don't even experience happiness nor sadness. It's this middle place that they refer to as this heavenly place of being, this sweet spot in the middle of a tornado. You know, they say that the most peaceful place on earth is in the center of a tornado, and that's the middle of the solar system. That's the way out. That's the beanstalk that get straight up out this bitch. Because if you get caught up on the walls, you're going to be like a nigga in a tornado wind going around and round and round, up and down, recycling through the vortex winds. That's the emotional weather pattern from people who can't detach from the matrix. When you start to wake up, you start to focus on things that's of the soul, that's way there. You're aiming higher than pride, your energy start to be aimed on such intellectual things beyond the physical realm. And when that happens, you're aimed out of this motherfucker because your quest for understanding has now sent you beyond the construct itself. That's the way out. You got to quest your way out or question your way out. Yeah, what I was gonna say was the question or the answer. If a person say, well, the question leads you to the answer, it's also true that the answer leads you to the question. 2 + 2 is 4. That's the answer. What if a child say, why, daddy? Why is 2 + 2 4? That's the question. The answer can lead you to the answer will lead you to the question if you start with the answer first. We started with the answer first. The answer was, we God. That's the conclusion, we're gods. The question is, why are we gods and what is a god? That question led to a quest of God leaving heaven to come into the creation. To think about it, because a God is a creator and a deity that mastered that which it created. But if that thing start off as a God, that means it started off as the answer. And so wasn't nothing else for God to do but go on a quest and ask questions. We are God asking questions. The reason we are God asking questions is because the answer came first and the quest came later, which is the universe being created and the Big Bang. Remember, God predate the universe. God is the answer. That's the cause. The quest is the effect. Because I had the answer, all right, the answer is ye are gods. That the question was, what the hell is a god? What am I? What is this thing you say that I am called a god? Let me show you. Let's go and show you what the opposite of being a god is so you can know what you are. If you were born up here on top in the sky and somebody said you are an upper person, you would be like, what the fuck is an upper person? Somebody be like, we really can't tell you, but we can show you by bringing you down. Now, because you never saw the lower world, you don't know what it is to be an upper person. So the people in the upper world got to put you down in the lower world so you can now know what it is to be an upper person by polarity. Because if you are already born up here, then you don't even know you up here. People like, hey man, you an upper person. And you like, what the fuck is up? It's the opposite of down. What's down? Let me show you, nigga. Let me bring you down so you can see that you was up. And that's what we're doing right now. You're a fallen angel. We were born by default gods in heaven that knew it all. We started with the answer. We didn't have no questions. The answer led us on a quest. Now, people think it can only happen the opposite way. The questions lead you to the answer. But we proof that it can happen in reverse. It's a paradox. It go both ways. If somebody say, the sun is bright, the moon is less bright, there go the answer. You got the answer. That didn't teach you nothing. Just because you got the answer don't mean you learned. If I tell a child, okay, son, here go the answer. The sun's bright, the moon's not. The boy gonna be like, why? But why though? Why is the sun hot and bright? And why is the moon not? And boom, boom, boom. See, the answer alone gonna lead to questions. But if you got the question and the answer together, that's when you get truth. But if you got just one of them, you got either the yin or the yang, you don't got none of them. You can't have one without the other. So we don't just learn from the
have death without life.
And guess what? You can't have a learning process without question and answers. This is facts. You can't learn without questions and answers. If a person say, I wish I just had all the answers, you wouldn't have all the knowledge. You need to have all the questions and answers. That sound foreign to our way of thinking today, because we tend to think the answers are more valuable than the questions. We think that the guy asking all them questions ain't benefiting the group. But the guy who act like he know all the answers is the guy we need to follow. And that's why we go with the experts, the pastors, the theologians. Why? They never act like they asking questions. They always act like guys that got all the answers. But guess what you see me do? I ask questions to make you think, because I know it's going to give you an aha moment. I say, listen, if God created the universe, how did he get water to make the ocean? How did he get wood to make trees? I don't act like I got the answers. I ask you questions that I know when you think about the question gonna teach you itself. I don't just teach you with answers. I teach you with questions too. And when I ask you a question that you don't know the answer to, that's a learning moment versus just me giving you an answer. Now check this out, guys. The twirl creates the world. Look at here. Look at here. It's a fractal code, and it progresses into what we call the flat earth system. Just like this, when it reaches its final stage down there at the bottom. And you can take this same concept here and you can put it next to human embryonic stages. Basically, I'm teaching y'all this, the science of making comparisons and syncing things together, which is the key to seeing beyond the veil. Is knowing what to look for. Like when I put up this right here, I knew to pull up the embryonic stages. Some people is knowing where to go. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really having the answers. It's knowing what question to ask next. And it's going to lead us in the right path on this quest of questions. It ain't about the answers. The answer's going to stop the fucking quest. That's why every time I answer myself, it leads to another question, because I ain't made it to my destination yet. And we're going to question ourselves right the fuck up out of this simulation.